Welcome back. Denverites, it turns out, love their wine. In fact, three quarters of us drink wine at least. Don't laugh. I haven't been drinking.
You haven't been drinking wine, have you?
You're going to say I've been drinking wine and I haven't. I just am stumbling here. All right. 3/4 of us drink wine at least occasionally, if not frequently.
Yes, and a new consumer survey from McWilliams Wines found several interesting tidbits about wine drinkers here in the Mile High City and all around the country. And with us now to talk more about that is Scott McWilliams, a sixth-generation Australian winemaker. Scott, good morning, and thank you for joining us. Top of the morning, I guess we should say to you. Huh?
Well, I usually say good day.
Good day.
That's what we're supposed to say.
Yeah. But instead you brought the wine, and I guess we could say, I mean, talking about your resume there, wine is like in your blood, right?
It's in my blood, literally. McWilliams Wines, we've been making wine in Australia for 130 years. And we've got the McWilliams Hamwood Estate range. We've been selling in all good wine stores across Denver and the US. But I wanted to actually show you how we blend wine, because about 50% of Denver residents, they actually realise that we do blend wine, whether it be a blend of different grape varieties or the same variety from different regions. And I've brought in a little demo just to show you, just quickly, that we've got the same grape variety but from different regions, and they do taste slightly differently. And what I do in the winery as a winemaker is I tend to mix a little bit of this and that.
Hold on, Scott. Let's hold this up so that our viewers can see, because our camera angles are a little difficult here. So go ahead.
So what I'm doing here is replicating what we would do in the winery. We do usually measure this a little more carefully, but just for the purpose of this demonstration, I've got here a nice spicy component. The one I just put in there was a little oaky, because we use oak barrels in winemaking, and this one here, this one's got some nice plummy flavours to it. So I like a bit of that in the McWilliams Hamwood Estate Shiraz. So we'll put that in, and then voila, we have our blend. It's a bit like cooking, a bit of this, bit of that.
And do you call it something when you blend those varieties together?
Well, we might call this one Blend A.
Blend A.
Yes.
How about Blend Channel 7?
We could do that.
That
certainly
works for us.
But, you know, what we do is we put it together, and then, of course, we assess the wine. And, well, you know, this is a premium wine that we're blending here, and this would go really well with a grilling or any type of gourmet cooking or something like that.
Something on the barbie.
So, yes.
And I like the way you put that, assessing, and now you assess the wine. Go ahead, Bertha.
That's right. So you can assess this one for me, and you know what, if we're not happy with the first one, then we go back to the drawing board and we try a different mixture of things.
Oh, it smells wonderful. I can smell that plummy flavor that you mentioned a moment ago. Now, would you do this with expensive wines? You mentioned it's a premium wine. You do it with an expensive wine or less?
Nearly all wines at all different price levels are blended, that's right. And the McWilliams Hamwood Estate's no exception. Yeah, we might have the one variety, but it's blended from many different regions.
Now, a lot of us... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
Jim.
I was going to say, I know you've done a lot of research here about wine drinkers and tasters here in the Denver area, and you believe more people drink wine in Denver than beer?
Well, that's what they're telling us. So it's quite amazing, you know. A wine, and especially Australian wines, becoming so popular. Varieties like Shiraz. There's not many people realise. I think about 79% of people in Denver don't actually realise that Shiraz and Syrah are actually the same grape variety, just called something different.
So if you see Shiraz on a label, that means it comes from Australia?
It's more than likely to be an Australian wine, yes.
Interesting. Tell us a little bit about the Australian wine industry, because we hear about the California wines, of course, the French wines, Italian wines people know about. What should we know about Australian wines?
Well, first and foremost, Australian wine represents amazing value for money.
Amazing value for money.
Exactly.
Interesting.
We've been obviously doing it for quite a long time, and we've honed our skills. Being a sixth-generation winemaker, I've learnt from my father and grandfather, etc. And the McWilliams Hamwood Estate range is a perfect example of value for money, but still a premium wine, very high quality, classy. You can share it with friends who don't necessarily know that much about wine, but I know that they're going to want a second glass, because it's really good stuff.
Tough to stop at one, right, Bertha?
There you go. You're starting all kinds of rumors.
It's almost lunchtime.
Scott, thank you so much for being here and shedding some light on Australian wines for us.
An absolute pleasure. Thank you.
We appreciate that.
And I must say, it smells great.
It does. It's just amazing.
You know, I'm tempted, but I'm not going to.
Well, we're going to wait till lunchtime to sample. But if you'd like more information about McWilliams wines and those recipes, just visit our website, thedenverchannel.com. Click on As Seen on 7 News, and we'll hook you up so you can get all that information.
Scott, thank you very much.
An absolute pleasure.
All right. Cheerio. Top of the morning. Cheers. There you are. Straight ahead here on 7 News, a Utah baby.